Coming up on today's show, we are talking Dane Brugler's first NFL mock draft and also some Cincinnati Bengals injury news that came out from Zach Taylor's press conference today. Help me out, share today's video, whether that's Instagram, Facebook, social media, texting it to a friend, whatever. Let them know about Dane Brugler's mock draft here and who the Cincinnati Bengals are picking in that mock draft, and also let them know the latest Bengals injury news out there. First thing we're going to get into, though, is Dane Brugler's mock draft. By the way, he does have the Bengals picking at number 10 in this latest mock draft after the win versus the Baltimore Ravens on Thanksgiving night. And if the Bengals keep winning, this is kind of something that we talked about with Joe Burrow's return. That number would continue to go back in the NFL draft here. So let's go ahead and get into the top 4 picks here. There was a trade, by the way, 2 trades in the top 2 picks here. The Browns trading up with the Titans to get the number 1 overall pick. They're going to take Fernando Mendoza here. Then you have the Giants trading back. The Raiders end up trading up. They also have an issue at quarterback right now, and they end up going with Dante Moore, quarterback out of Oregon. We'll see if he actually ends up going to the NFL draft or not this year. There is some chatter out there that he possibly could return to Oregon. Saints here at number 3. They're going to go with Arvell Reese. I don't really think Arvell Reese is going to get anywhere close to where the Bengals are picking there. So, unless the Bengals end up trading up or I don't think there's really any way at this point where you're getting Arvell Reese. Giants at number 4 now after that trade with the Raiders. Going to go with a wide receiver. Back-to-back Ohio State players going here. This one, wide receiver Carnell Tate. Tennessee Titans were the number 1 pick. They trade back with the Cleveland Browns. They're going to go edge rusher Keldrick Falk out of Auburn. We've talked about Keldrick Falk. We've had him in one of our mock drafts here. In this one, he goes number 5 from Dane Brugler. The Washington Commanders at number 6. They're going to go edge rusher as well with Reuben Bain Jr. out of Miami. And then the Jets at number 7, going wide receiver for them as well. Jordan Tyson. I've seen him going in a lot of mock drafts in the top 10 here, so no surprise he goes top 10 yet again here to the New York Jets. Number 8, the Cardinals are going to go edge rusher here again out of Texas Tech, David Bailey. Number 9, right before the Bengals pick here is the Rams. They're going to go Spencer Fanu. He's another guy that we have also talked about as well as a possible take here for the Cincinnati Bengals. But with a number 10 pick in the 2026 NFL draft, Dane Brugler in this mock draft goes the guy that I really want the Bengals to pick here, but I'm sure they're going to find a way to end up, just screwing this one over here, even if he does end up getting there. Caleb Downs, safety out of Ohio State. I think this would be the perfect replacement for Geno Stone, and he would also be essentially the quarterback on the defense for this Bengals team. Caleb Downs, this is a no-brainer type of pick here for Cincinnati if he does end up getting down there to them. We'll talk about what Dane Brugler had to say and some more about Caleb Downs here in just a second. But I want to hear from you guys. Grade this mock draft pick of Caleb Downs. A, B, C, D, or F. It's going to be the pinned comment of today's video. For me, I would totally give it an A+. I think this is the perfect pick for the Bengals. They need somebody on defense, and definitely a quarterback in the secondary would definitely help them as well. All right, so this was Dane Brugler's pitch about why the Cincinnati Bengals should take Caleb Downs. Saying Downs is one of the best players in this draft class, but a lot of teams, possibly including the Bengals, would not feel great about drafting a safety in the top 10. The Ohio State All-American would give them a monumental talent upgrade in the back end and instantly help its defense develop a more disciplined culture. Don't overthink this one. I love that last part of that second to last sentence there about the more disciplined culture. I think Caleb Downs can bring you a ton of different stuff. He's really, really good coming down in the run. He's also really good as well in coverage. Hasn't allowed a touchdown this year, and you would be hard-pressed to find Caleb Downs giving up, really long touchdown passes here. And like I said, really good against the run as well. Now, Ohio State hasn't necessarily asked him to do as much as they had in the years past, and especially his freshman year there at Alabama. But, man, this kid really does come downfield. He cracks some helmets, and, man, he's super, super smart. There's a reason he went to Alabama out of high school, wanted to learn under Nick Saban, started as a freshman, and I believe he was a freshman All-American there as well. So Caleb Downs, man, like Dane Brugler said, if he is there on the board, don't overthink it. Pick him, Bengals. All right, we'll come back to some more injury news here in just a second. But first, want to give a shout-out to the sponsor of today's show. That is Omaha Steaks. From holiday hosting to unforgettable gifts, Omaha Steaks delivers the world's best steak experience. You guys can gift family and friends USDA-certified tender steaks, juicy burgers, cozy and convenient comfort meals, and so much more. And now, during their Sizzle All the Way sale, you can get 50% off site-wide at omahasteaks.com. Plus, our listeners here at Bengals Breakdown get an extra $35 off just by using promo code Bengals at checkout. When I go to the Omaha State website, they have a ton of different types of options and bundles that you guys can choose from. It's not just steaks. They have chicken. They have pork chops. They have burgers. They have franks. They've got fries. They've even got desserts as well. I ordered one of these bundles here from Omaha Steaks and also got the caramel apple tartlets as well. Those are absolutely delicious. You just pop them in the oven for a couple of minutes, heat them up there, or I guess you could nuke them in the microwave if you're kind of lazy like me. Either way, they're absolutely delicious. You use that promo code right there, Bengals at checkout. You get an additional $35 off. Just for an example, you get the 50% off right now. That would take the classic favorite assortment bundle under $100. So make sure you take advantage of that during the holiday season. Save big on gourmet gifts and more holiday favorites with Omaha Steaks, and visit omahasteaks.com for 50% off site-wide during their Sizzle All the Way sale. And for an extra $35 off, use promo code Bengals at checkout. Terms do apply, and you can see that website for extra details. But that's omahasteaks.com. Promo code Bengals to get an extra $35 off at checkout. By the way, that link down at the pinned comment of today's show, it's also in the description of today's show as well. We appreciate Omaha Steaks for being the sponsor of our video today. All right, the biggest injury news here we'll get to first is on Tee Higgins. Obviously, he suffered that concussion a couple of weeks ago. He ended up returning to practice today in a limited fashion, still going through concussion protocol right now. But, sitting here on Wednesday, coming back to practice as limited, that bodes pretty well there for Tee Higgins. And also, by the way, Tahj Brooks as well going through concussion protocol. He also ended up returning to practice today. This is what Zac Taylor said during his press conference before Bengals practice today, saying about Tee Higgins, he's working through it, making good progress, limited today, same as Tahj Brooks. Same category with both of them making good progress right now. Like I said just a second ago, this really does bode pretty well for Tee Higgins to end up returning this week against the Buffalo Bills. That would, then just give Joe Burrow an extra, target, a number 2 target going into Orchard Park this weekend because, last week you saw Mitchell Tinsley really being that number 2 targeted wide receiver anyways. I think he had 2 catches for like 28 yards or something like that. Yeah, Andre Yoshivas had 1 catch for 29 yards there. So technically, Andre Yoshivas by yards was the number 2 wide receiver, but Mitchell Tinsley by targets was the Bengals' number 2 wide receiver there. And just having him out there, man, it is a massive impact for this Bengals offense. You got Jamar Chase, you got Tee Higgins, you got Chase Brown, you got some of those other role players, as well. Noah Fant, Mitchell Tinsley. This Bengals offense is really starting to, come alive a little bit here. They did struggle a little bit last week in the red zone, but I think adding Tee Higgins also brings you a little bit more of a deep threat as you face the Bills this coming Sunday. So I want to hear from you guys down inside the comments. Get your predictions down there. Will Tee Higgins play this week versus the Buffalo Bills? Type Y for yes or in for no down in the comments section. All right, and as we touched on again the other day, we're going to touch on it again today. Trey Hendrickson is most likely not going to be a go for this game. Zac Taylor continues to say he's week to week. He did not practice again today, and I just genuinely do not know when Trey Hendrickson is going to end up returning here for the Cincinnati Bengals. He's been out since halftime of that Week 8 game. By the way, 5th straight game that he is going to miss here. And like I said the other day, I understand why, before the NFL trade deadline, you wouldn't put him on the injured reserve. But as of right now, man, he's just taking up an extra roster spot that you could possibly go out there and sign somebody else. So right now, I just genuinely do not know if we're even going to see Trey Hendrickson for the remainder of the season. So, one more time down in the comments, will Trey Hendrickson play again for Cincinnati? Because, look, we still don't know the future of him after this season. Is he going to go off to free agency? Are they just going to, mutually part ways? Are the Bengals going to try to, tag him? Or are they going to tag and trade him? Let me know what you guys think. Will Trey Hendrickson ever play for the Cincinnati Bengals again? Type 1 for yes or 0 for no. Now, the other day when we brought this up about Trey Hendrickson, I saw a lot of people down in the comment section, because, yes, I do still read the comments. A lot of people were saying just cut Trey Hendrickson at this point. The problem is the Bengals just can't cut Trey Hendrickson. It really doesn't make any sense for them. You'd have a lot of dead money that you would have to eat on that front. And, also, it screws up any kind of comp pick that you would end up getting next season as well. And if Trey Hendrickson does end up returning at some point, he does help you. We just genuinely do not know, because Zac Taylor hasn't told us anything about the outlook on the injury here for Trey Hendrickson. I don't know if they grossly misjudged what this injury is. Maybe it's not even a hip injury at all. I just genuinely don't really know. Maybe, I saw this, out there as well. I kind of pitched it as a conspiracy theory out there that Trey Hendrickson is just trying to get back at the Cincinnati Bengals for not giving him that contract extension. I don't really know what the deal is right now. I don't really see Trey Hendrickson as being that type of guy. But, man, he's going to be out again. Zac Taylor just continues to say he's going to be week to week.